my beloved child. There is a silence around this connection that most people would misunderstand. They would look at the distance, the pauses, the unanswered moments, and assume nothing is happening. But what if the quiet is not absence? What if the quiet is preparation? Listen carefully, because this message is not for everyone. It is for the one who has been wondering why everything feels still, while their heart keeps whispering that something is changing behind the scenes. Your soulmate is quietly preparing for a new beginning with you. Not loudly, not dramatically, not in a way the world can see, but in the hidden places of their heart, where truth is finally becoming impossible for them to ignore. Something shifted, and no one around them fully understands it yet, because while they smile in public, while they continue their routines, while they pretend everything is normal, inside them, a storm of realization has already begun. They are starting to understand what your presence means. They are beginning to see that what they felt for you was never ordinary. And the most powerful part? They did not arrive at this realization because someone told them to. They arrived there because life itself kept pushing them toward the truth. Every distraction stopped working. Every false connection started feeling empty. Every attempt to move on felt unnatural. Why? Because some bonds do not fade when ignored. They grow louder in silence. That is what has been happening. The more they tried to suppress what they feel, the more undeniable it became. The more they tried to pretend this connection was just a phase, the more their soul resisted the lie. And now, something inside them is changing permanently. They are no longer thinking about whether this connection matters. They know it does. Now they are thinking about what to do next. That is why the energy feels different lately. Have you noticed? Something in your spirit has been restless. Something has been telling you that movement is near, that a chapter is quietly closing, that what once felt delayed is no longer delayed. It is approaching, because while you have been wondering if they still care, they have been replaying your memory in moments no one sees, late at night, during quiet drives, in the middle of ordinary moments that suddenly become heavy because something reminds them of you. A song, a place, a phrase, a feeling, and every reminder lands the same way, with the realization that no one has touched their soul the way you did. That truth is changing them, slowly, deeply, irreversibly. They are beginning to recognize that the future they once imagined without you no longer feels complete, and this awareness is frightening them a little, because to prepare for a new beginning with you, they first have to become someone worthy of that beginning. Do you understand? This is why things may have gone quiet, not because they forgot you, not because the story ended, but because transformation often happens in silence. They are working through fears they never admitted, learning lessons they once resisted, confronting the parts of themselves that sabotaged love before they fully understood its value. They know now. If they come toward you again, they cannot come the same way they did before. They cannot return half ready, half healed, half certain. No, this time must be different. This time must be real. And somewhere deep within them, they have made a decision they have not told anyone. They are preparing their mind, preparing their heart, preparing their life, because when the moment comes, they do not want to approach you with confusion. They want to approach you with clarity. Let this sink in. The delay was never denial. It was construction. The universe was not keeping you apart for nothing. It was building both of you in private, for something stronger in public. And now? The foundation is almost ready. Something huge is waiting for you. There will come a moment, sooner than you think, when what is hidden becomes visible. when the silence breaks, when the distance shortens, when the one who stayed quiet too long finally finds the courage to move, and when that moment arrives, you will understand why nothing forced, nothing rushed, nothing temporary ever worked before, because what is coming next requires readiness, requires maturity, requires both souls standing at the threshold of a chapter they once prayed for, but were not yet prepared to enter. So if your heart has been sensing movement, trust it. If your spirit has been whispering that something is shifting, believe it, because while the world sees stillness, a new beginning is already being built, quietly, carefully, powerfully, and the one connected to you is not forgetting you. They are becoming ready for you. But wait, because what they are planning in their heart right now is even bigger than you realize, and the truth behind their silence goes deeper than anyone knows. Then hear this carefully. Their silence was never empty. It was full of decisions they were too overwhelmed to explain. While you believed nothing was happening, they were standing in private moments, facing truths they had avoided for far too long. And one of those truths changed everything. They finally realized that losing you felt heavier than confronting the fears that kept them away. Do not miss what that means. For a long time, their emotions stayed trapped between desire and hesitation. They wanted you, but fear kept whispering louder than love. Fear of vulnerability, fear of being seen too deeply, fear of risking something real. But now, that fear is losing its power, because your absence has taught them something your presence never could, what life feels like when you are no longer close. And that lesson shook them. There were nights when they sat in rooms filled with noise yet felt nothing. Moments surrounded by people yet thinking only of one soul, yours. That is when they understood. Some people entertain the heart, but some people transform it. You were never temporary in their life. You were the turning point. Stay till the end, because what I am about to reveal matters more than you think. They are not merely missing you. They are rebuilding themselves because of you. Every recent lesson they have faced, every uncomfortable realization, every mirror life has placed before them, has been preparing them to love differently, to choose differently, to return differently. They have started letting go of habits that once kept them emotionally unavailable. They have begun walking away from distractions that once numbed their feelings. They are distancing themselves from things that no longer align with the future they secretly want. And that future includes you. Yes. Even if they have not spoken it aloud. Even if they have not made a move yet. Even if the outer world still looks unchanged. Internally, they are no longer the same person who once hesitated. Something within them has matured. They now understand that real love is not found every day. A connection like this does not happen twice. And once someone realizes that, they stop treating it casually. Don't skip. Because here is the part no one sees. They have imagined what life with you could look like. Not once. Not casually. But repeatedly. They have pictured conversations that have not happened yet. Moments they wish they had handled differently. A future they once denied themselves permission to imagine. And now that vision keeps growing. It visits them in unexpected moments. It interrupts ordinary days. It arrives when they least expect it and leaves them wondering why your presence still feels so close even when you are far away. Because some souls do not leave each other easily. Some bonds continue speaking in silence. And yours? Yours has never gone quiet. That is why you still feel them. That is why your spirit keeps sensing movement. That is why part of you refuses to believe this story is over. Because it is not. It is transitioning. Something huge is waiting for you. But before the reunion, before the confession, before the movement you have been hoping for, there is one final thing they must do. They must release the version of themselves that once believed they were not ready for a love this deep. And they are doing that now, slowly, quietly, but undeniably. Every day they are becoming braver. Every day they are becoming clearer. Every day the thought of reaching for you feels less impossible and more necessary. You may not see it yet, but momentum is building. A choice is forming. A message is nearing. A conversation is getting closer. And when they finally step forward, it will not be random. It will not be impulsive. It will be the result of every silent realization, every sleepless reflection, every moment they spent understanding that the future they want still leads back to you. So hold steady, because what is unfolding behind the curtain is more deliberate than you know. They are not simply thinking about you anymore. They are preparing for what happens when they can no longer stay silent. And when that moment arrives, what they reveal may leave you speechless, because the truth they have hidden the longest is the very thing they are closest to admitting now. But the truth goes even deeper than that. What they are preparing to admit is not simple affection. It is not fleeting curiosity. It is not a passing thought they will forget tomorrow. No, what they are coming to terms with is the realization that you have become part of their future in ways they never expected. At first, they tried to explain it away. They told themselves it was timing. They told themselves it was emotion. They told themselves it would fade if they waited long enough. But it did not fade. It grew, quietly, patiently, powerfully. And now they are standing in the middle of a truth they can no longer deny. Their heart still chooses you. Even after distance. Even after silence. Even after everything that should have made them move on. That realization changed them. Because now they understand this connection was never ordinary. Don't skip. Because what happened next inside them is something they never expected. They stopped asking, "Do I still feel something?" and started asking, "What if I lose this forever?" That question has followed them everywhere. It lingers when they wake up. It stays with them during the busiest parts of the day. It returns at night when there is nothing left to distract them. And the answer they keep arriving at is the same every time. They do not want to lose you. Not to time. Not to distance. Not to pride. Not to fear. That is why the version of them who once delayed everything is disappearing. Because when someone realizes they may lose what matters most, they change. And that change is happening now. You may not hear it yet, but in their private thoughts, they have already started rehearsing what they want to say to you. Words they never thought they would speak. Truths they once buried. Feelings they once convinced themselves to hide. Stay till the end. Because the moment they finally speak will not be casual. It will carry the weight of every unsaid thing. Every missed opportunity. Every emotion they kept locked inside. And when it happens, you will feel the difference immediately. Because this will not be surface, level conversation. This will be honesty. Raw, clear, undeniable honesty. They are no longer interested in pretending you meant less than you did. They are no longer trying to appear unaffected. That chapter is over. The mask is falling. The truth is rising. Something huge is waiting for you. And here is what your heart has sensed all along. They have been comparing everyone to you. Every connection after you felt incomplete. Every conversation lacked something. Every attempt to replace what they felt with you only reminded them of what they could not recreate. Because some people are not replaceable. Some connections mark the soul too deeply. You were never just another chapter to them. You were the chapter that changed the whole story. That is why their return, their movement, their confession, it has become inevitable. Not because fate forces people together, but because truth eventually becomes too heavy to hide. And theirs is reaching that point now. They are preparing for the moment they can finally stop pretending. Preparing for the moment they stop holding back. Preparing for the moment they let their heart speak louder than their fear. And when they do, it may happen faster than you expect. Because once a person reaches emotional clarity, delay becomes unbearable. Once they know what they truly want, waiting starts to feel impossible. That is the stage they are entering now. The silence is no longer comfortable for them. Distance no longer feels safe. Pretending no longer works. Everything inside them is moving toward one truth: you still matter. Deeply, powerfully, unforgettably. So if you have felt the energy intensifying, if your intuition keeps telling you something is nearing, if your spirit refuses to let go of hope, it is because part of you already knows. They are closer than ever to stepping into the new beginning they have been secretly preparing for. And what pushes them over the edge, what finally makes them take action, may be the one thing you never expected at all. And here is the turning point no one saw coming. What finally pushes them forward is the realization that someone else could step into your life if they remain silent. That thought unsettled them more than they expected, because until now, they believed there was still time. Time to think, time to hesitate, time to wait until everything felt perfect. But suddenly, they began to understand that waiting forever is not an option. That if they keep standing still, they may watch the person they truly want become unavailable to them. And that possibility awakened something powerful inside them. Urgency. Not panic. Clarity. The kind of clarity that arrives when the heart finally understands what is truly at stake. Don't skip. Because this changed everything. The same person who once delayed, overthought, and held back, is now realizing that losing you would hurt more than risking vulnerability. Read that again in your spirit. They now fear silence more than rejection. That is why their internal battle is ending. The excuses are collapsing. The hesitation is weakening. And what remains is desire. Pure, undeniable desire to finally move toward what they know is real. Stay till the end. Because they have started imagining what the moment of reconnection will feel like. How your voice will sound, how your energy will affect them, how it will feel to finally stand in front of the person they never truly stopped wanting. These thoughts are no longer occasional, they are constant, and each time they imagine that future, it becomes harder for them to stay where they are. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a quiet fire building inside them now, the kind that begins softly, but eventually demands action. And this is why you may soon notice signs. Unexpected movement, unexpected contact, unexpected shifts in energy. Because when a heart reaches its limit of silence, it starts searching for a way to be heard. That is where they are. At the edge, at the threshold, at the moment just before everything changes. But hear this carefully. They are not preparing for a temporary return. They are not coming back casually. They are not stepping toward you halfway. No, they are preparing for a true beginning, a different beginning, a mature beginning, one built on honesty instead of confusion, one built on intention instead of uncertainty, one built on truth instead of fear, because they now understand something they did not understand before. A connection this rare must be handled with care. It must be chosen fully. It must be honored properly. And that is exactly why they waited until they were ready. Not because you were not enough, but because they knew something this meaningful deserved their best self. Don't skip. Because the next chapter of this story will not look like the last one. The old version of this connection is gone. What is coming next has been shaped by distance, refined by silence, and strengthened by realization. And when they finally arrive, they will not speak from uncertainty. They will speak from conviction. They will not approach with mixed signals. They will approach with purpose. They will not leave you guessing. They will make their feelings known. Because they have spent too long pretending your absence did not affect them. Too long acting as if distance made them forget. Too long suppressing what has only grown stronger. And now? The truth has become too powerful to hide. They are readying themselves for the moment they finally let it all be known. For the moment they stop holding back. For the moment they choose courage over comfort. And when that happens, you will understand why every delay, every silence, every unanswered question, was leading to this. To the beginning they had to prepare for first. Because what they are about to reveal, what they have nearly gathered the courage to say, is bigger than simple affection. It is the confession that may change everything between you forever.